Gentlemen, let me be blunt. Cialis is not the magic solution you've been led to believe. For men over 60, it's often just a mask. It hides the real reasons your performance is slipping, while quietly letting those problems get worse. And here's the shocking part. Many of the men I've worked with found that the more they leaned on Cialis, the less control they actually had over their own bodies. That cycle ends tonight. Because I'm about to share with you 2 natural herbs you can take before bed that restore firmness, circulation, and desire, without relying on a pill that was never designed to be your long-term fix. The first one is surprisingly simple. It's called Korean red ginseng. You don't need exotic extracts, complicated blends, or overpriced bottles. Just half a teaspoon of powdered Korean red ginseng mixed in warm water about 30 minutes before bed. What it does is relax your blood vessels, open up circulation, and help your body respond the way it was meant to respond when desire hits. Some of my patients notice the difference in just days. That's not a theory. It's decades of research on blood flow and erectile function distilled into one simple habit. If you stopped watching right now, you could put this into practice tonight. But stay with me, because the second herb is even more powerful, and when you combine the two, the effect is like flipping the body's natural performance switch back on. And before I reveal it, you need to understand why so many men over 60 are fighting an uphill battle that no blue pill can solve. I should introduce myself properly. My name is Dr. Mei Anderson. For over 25 years I've specialized in men's health, working with thousands of men in their 60s, 70s, and beyond who were struggling with performance, energy, and confidence. I've seen the embarrassment, the frustration, and the silent distance it can create in relationships. I may not share your experience as a man, but I've sat across from you, listened to your stories, and walked men through transformations they thought were impossible at their age. I know the situations that sting the most. You're lying next to your partner, you want to be close, but your body isn't cooperating. You wake up in the morning, and instead of feeling that strong, natural signal of manhood, you feel nothing. Or worse, you try to push through with a pill, only to feel lightheaded, flushed, and still not satisfied. It's not just about performance, it's about confidence, connection, and dignity. And when those start slipping, it affects every part of your life. This is why depending on Cialis is so dangerous. Not just because of the side effects, though headaches, vision changes, and digestive problems are common, but because it tricks you into ignoring the real warning sign: poor blood flow. If your arteries aren't delivering blood where it needs to go in the bedroom, there's a good chance they're not delivering it to your heart or brain as well. That's why studies show erectile dysfunction often appears years before serious heart problems. It's your body's alarm system. And the worst thing you can do is hit snooze with another pill. One of my patients, let's call him Jim, came to me at 64. He had been taking Cialis on and off for almost 5 years. At first, it worked like a charm. He felt like himself again. But over time, the effect got weaker, and the side effects got worse. He told me, "Doc, I feel like I'm chasing the pill, not living my life." His confidence was gone. His wife had stopped initiating intimacy, and the man who used to feel unstoppable at work and at home now avoided both, because he didn't feel like himself. When we shifted him off the pills and onto a natural circulation-boosting routine, his story completely changed. Within 3 weeks of using the herbs I'm about to reveal to you, he wasn't just functioning again, he was thriving. His wife said he had the energy of a man 20 years younger. And more importantly, Jim told me, "For the first time in years, I feel like I'm in control again." That's what these solutions are really about. Giving you back control. Pills like Cialis take the steering wheel out of your hands. Natural protocols work with your body so you can drive again. Now let me show you why these herbs work so well. At the root of the issue is something called nitric oxide. It's a simple molecule, but it's the reason you can have a firm, lasting erection. Nitric oxide tells your blood vessels to relax and open up, allowing blood to surge where it needs to go. As you age, your body produces less of it. That's why men in their 60s and 70s struggle more than men in their 30s and 40s. Ginseng has been shown to boost nitric oxide production naturally. Think of it like opening a valve on a garden hose. Suddenly, the flow is strong and steady again. That's why men who use it consistently report stronger, more reliable performance, without side effects. But circulation is only half the battle. The other half is hormones, specifically testosterone. This is where the second herb comes in. And I'll be revealing it shortly, but first you need to hear this. Low testosterone doesn't just rob you of desire. It also steals your energy, your muscle strength, and your sense of drive. I've seen men who thought they were depressed or just getting old completely turn around once their testosterone was supported naturally. Imagine waking up with energy, clarity, and confidence instead of dragging yourself out of bed wondering if your best days are behind you. That's the difference this second herb can make. And here's what makes it so powerful. It works while you sleep. That's why I recommend taking it at night alongside ginseng. While your body is resting, it's repairing, rebuilding, and recharging. Supporting testosterone at this time is like giving your body the raw materials to restore your vitality, while you're not even thinking about it. But before I reveal exactly what it is, let's circle back to why ignoring testosterone decline is such a mistake. When testosterone drops, everything becomes harder. Building muscle? Slower. Burning fat? Almost impossible. Keeping desire alive? Frustrating. And the hidden danger is that low testosterone is linked to diabetes, heart disease, and even cognitive decline. This isn't just about your sex life. It's about protecting your health, your independence, and your quality of life. The men who ignore it often end up with more prescriptions, more doctor visits, and more regrets. This is why the men I work with who make the shift away from pills and toward natural solutions often tell me it feels like reclaiming their identity. They stop feeling like old men waiting for the end, and start feeling like the men they remember, confident, energetic, and in control. That's the shift I want for you. And in just a moment, I'll share the herb that makes it possible. Earlier, I told you about Jim, the 64-year-old who felt like he was chasing the pill. Let me tell you about another patient, Robert. He was 71 when he first came to see me. He had stopped trying intimacy altogether because he felt it was humiliating to keep failing. His wife, supportive as she was, had grown distant. He told me, "Doctor, it feels like I've lost more than just performance. I've lost the closeness that made my marriage special." That statement hit me hard because this is what I see so often. Erectile problems aren't just physical, they eat away at relationships, self-esteem, and identity. When Robert began the natural protocol, something remarkable happened. In just under a month, he wasn't only performing again, but he told me something more important. For the first time in years, I don't feel anxious going to bed. I feel excited again. That's a massive shift, moving from fear and doubt to excitement and anticipation. And his wife told me privately that their entire household felt different. They were laughing more, traveling again, and planning their retirement with joy instead of quietly living in frustration. That transformation is why I'm so passionate about teaching you this method. Because when you fix the root of the issue, you don't just get firmness back, you get life back. So let's get into the science, but don't worry, I'm going to make this simple. Think of your body like a car. Blood flow is the fuel pump, testosterone is the engine oil, and desire is the spark that ignites everything. If your pump isn't working, it doesn't matter how much gas you have, you won't move forward. That's where ginseng comes in. It restores nitric oxide, so your pump starts pushing fuel through again. But if your oil is running dry, the engine overheats, grinds, and eventually breaks down. That's where the second herb makes all the difference. The second herb is ashwagandha. It's been used for thousands of years in traditional medicine, but modern research confirms what healers already knew. It supports testosterone production, lowers stress hormones, and improves sleep quality. That combination is incredibly powerful for men over 60. Why? Because stress hormones like cortisol directly compete with testosterone. When cortisol goes up, testosterone goes down. That's one reason so many men in their 60s and 70s feel flat. Years of accumulated stress have drained their reserves. Ashwagandha flips that balance back in your favor. And here's the beauty. Ashwagandha works best at night. When you take it before bed, your cortisol naturally lowers, your testosterone has room to rise, and your sleep becomes deeper. Deeper sleep itself increases testosterone. It's a feedback loop. So instead of waking up tired and empty, you wake up stronger, more rested, and more responsive where it matters. One of my favorite studies on this showed that older men who took ashwagandha daily saw an average increase of over 15% in testosterone within just 3 months. That's not a small bump. It's a transformation in how your body feels and functions. Let's put this into a protocol you can use starting tonight. Step 1. Take half a teaspoon of Korean red ginseng in warm water about 30 minutes before bed. Step 2. Take 500 milligrams of ashwagandha extract with the same drink. Step 3. As you lay down, spend 3 to 5 minutes taking deep, slow breaths. Why the breathing? Because it enhances nitric oxide production in your blood vessels, amplifying the effects of the herbs. That's it. 3 steps, less than 10 minutes total, and you've created the perfect environment for your body to restore circulation, hormone balance, and performance while you sleep. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Can it really be that simple? I've heard that question countless times. The answer is yes, but the simplicity is what makes it so effective. Complex routines rarely last. What you need is something you'll actually do every night, without feeling like it's a burden. That's why this protocol works. It fits seamlessly into bedtime, and it rewards you with real, tangible results. I want to emphasize something important here. This isn't about quick fixes or chasing one-night miracles. Sure, some men notice improvements almost immediately, but the real magic happens over weeks, when your body begins to rebuild its natural systems. Blood vessels regain elasticity, hormone levels rise and stabilize, confidence grows, and the results stick, because you're working with your body, not against it. Let's circle back to Robert for a moment. After 3 months on this protocol, he came to one of our follow-up sessions. He walked in with a grin and said, "Doc, my wife told me to tell you thank you, but also to stop giving me so much energy. I'm wearing her out." We laughed, but underneath the joke was something deeply important. He felt alive again. Not patched up by a pill, not anxious about whether tonight would be another disappointment, but alive and in control. That's the outcome I want for you. And here's something that often surprises men. When circulation and testosterone improve, it's not just your bedroom life that changes. Your stamina improves. Your mood stabilizes. You recover faster from exercise. Even your mental sharpness comes back. Why? Because testosterone and blood flow are critical to brain health too. Many of my patients tell me that after a few weeks on the herbs, they're not just waking up stronger. They're thinking clearer, remembering names, and feeling more confident in conversations. That ripple effect spreads into every part of life. Now let me give you a practical timeline because I know you want specifics. In the first week, most men notice better sleep and a small boost in morning energy. By the second week, many report stronger morning erections and more consistent desire. By the fourth week, endurance and performance improve noticeably. And by 8 to 12 weeks, the full transformation is usually in motion. Firmer erections, higher testosterone, more energy, and renewed confidence. That's not hype. That's based on years of seeing this pattern repeat across hundreds of men in my practice. There's one more thing I want you to keep in mind. These herbs don't just improve performance. They protect your health. Poor circulation and low testosterone aren't just frustrating symptoms. They're warnings about your cardiovascular and metabolic health. By addressing them naturally, you're also lowering your risk of heart disease, diabetes, and cognitive decline. In other words, this isn't just about sex. It's about extending your vitality and independence. So to recap, take Korean red ginseng for circulation. Take ashwagandha for testosterone and stress reduction. Add simple breathing to amplify nitric oxide. Stick with it consistently, and your body will thank you. This is how you get out of the trap of chasing pills and start living with confidence again. I've shown you the herbs, the science, and the step-by-step protocol. But let me share a few more real stories, because I know how important it is for you to see this isn't theory, it's real, and it works for men just like you. Tom was 67 when he first came to see me. He was healthy overall, but he told me he felt invisible in his own marriage. "It's not that my wife doesn't care," he said, "but I don't feel desired anymore, and I think it's because I've lost my edge." He'd tried prescriptions, but the side effects were miserable. Within just 5 weeks of starting the ginseng and ashwagandha routine, he said something shifted. Not only was he waking up with energy, but his wife had started reaching for him again. That's the kind of confidence and connection men crave. And it came back because he worked with his body instead of fighting against it. Another man, David, age 73, had actually given up. He told me he didn't see the point in trying anymore because that part of life is over. But we convinced him to try this protocol. 2 months later, he came back with tears in his eyes. "Doc," he said, "I didn't just get intimacy back, I got my marriage back. We talk, we laugh, and we feel like partners again." That transformation wasn't about a pill. It was about restoring his natural vitality. These stories matter because I want you to know you are not alone. The struggles you're facing are common. But more importantly, they are solvable. Too many men silently accept decline as inevitable. I'm here to tell you it is not inevitable. With the right support, your body can rebound in ways you might not believe possible right now. Now you might be asking yourself, is this really going to work for me? That's a fair question. Here's the truth. Every man's body is different, but the mechanisms behind these herbs, improving circulation, boosting testosterone, reducing stress hormones, are universal. If your body is struggling because of declining nitric oxide or falling hormone levels, this protocol addresses those exact root causes. That's why I've seen it work for men in their 60s, 70s, and even early 80s. I also want to give you a few practical tips to make this even more effective. First, consistency is everything. Taking the herbs occasionally won't do much. Make them part of your nightly routine, just like brushing your teeth. Second, pay attention to your sleep. The deeper you sleep, the more testosterone you produce. So if you need to darken your room, cut out late-night screen time, or add a magnesium-rich food like almonds before bed, do it. Third, remember that small lifestyle shifts add up. Walking after dinner, staying hydrated, cutting back on heavy evening meals. All of these make circulation better and hormones more balanced. Gentlemen, if you've made it this far into the video, you're already showing that you care about your health and your future. And that's exactly why I created this channel, Vital Health Seniors. This is where men over 60 come to get the truth about their health. Not quick fix gimmicks, not recycled advice, but proven strategies to keep you strong, confident, and full of vitality. So here's my personal invitation. If this video gave you hope, if it sparked even the smallest sense that things can get better, then hit that subscribe button right now. Because every week, I bring you new strategies designed specifically for men in your stage of life. Strategies that are safe, natural, and effective. I want to be your trusted guide as you take back control of your health and your manhood. And before you go, I want to set the stage for what's coming next. In my very next video, I'm going to reveal one heart-healthy vegetable that almost every man over 60 has been told to eat, but it may secretly be lowering your testosterone every single night. Most men have it sitting in their kitchen right now, thinking it's protecting them, when in reality it could be draining the very hormone that keeps them vital. You don't want to miss this one, because cutting out or replacing this one food could completely change your energy, your mood, and your performance. So subscribe now, hit the notification bell, and be the first to know when that video drops. Because if today's herbs are the ignition switch to get your engine running again, then the food I'll expose in the next video is the brake pedal that might be slowing you down without you even realizing it. Gentlemen, remember this. Your age does not define your vitality. Your choices do. And by choosing natural solutions that work with your body, you're proving that it's never too late to reclaim your strength, your confidence, and your intimacy. I'm Dr. Mei Anderson, and it's been an honor to share this with you. Stay strong, stay vital, and I'll see you in the next video.